Hello, thanks for having me. I'm very excited to talk to you about curiosity. It's a great theme. Something very close to my heart. I've got a lot to get through. I'm going to go really fast. I'm going to swear a lot. A lot of rude stuff I'm going to show, so if you're easily offended, or just offended, really, you're in the wrong fucking preso. So, Nicole just introduced me, so I do all that stuff. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, awesome. Amazing. But I have been employed and paid for all of those things, so it does count. I didn't just do it in my bedroom and pretend that I am. So just take it from me. I am a seasoned, storied, and certified creative wanker. Been doing it for 25 years all over the world, so you can trust me. Yes, you can. Okay, let's go. I'm here to talk about curiosity, which I define as this. Plug it in. Pushing it. I got carried away with the salt and pepper thing, but it's about pushing it. Curiosity is about pushing it. Pushing what? I hear you cry silently with your eyes. Well, that's what we're going to find out in this presentation. I'm going to get to that, and we'll figure it all out. So, I am a curious little bastard. Can anyone read that? Nosy little fuck. I'm curious about the biggest things in the universe itself, the multiverse, right down to the smallest things, the ever-changing, chaotic quantum foam sitting at the base of all reality, and everything in between. I like to follow street dildos, and whichever way they point, I'll go that way, just to see if I can discover something new about my neighbourhood. I like looking for fairy doors. They're everywhere if you look for them, actually. But what I do is I put kid-friendly insults inside them, just for shits and giggles. I chase poodles, I look at the stars, I unturn rocks, I look at the clouds, I eat the cake, I buy the shoes. I create, I destroy, and I embrace the chaos therein. That does make me a bit of a distracted fellow. But I think if you're not regularly falling down rabbit holes, you're not doing it right. Because routine is the enemy of creation, my friends. And you need to break your own cycles. These can be big or small. You know, you commute to work, what you wear, where you sit, how you approach meetings, whatever, you know. And if you're in charge in the workplace or, you know, you've got a bit of power, you need to foster this behaviour. It can be something small. Just do it, for God's sake. This is a change this morning, isn't it? We're all facing a different way. It's amazing. So I think curiosity and creativity are two sides of the same coin. It's hardly a massive epiphany. If that was it, it'd be a bit shit, wouldn't it? But like the quantum foam, I think there's a deeper insight underneath this. We're going to find out. We're going to go there. So I believe in cross-pollination. I believe in mashups, mongrels, and mutts. I don't think you should be a purist. I think the age of purism is over. Don't have tunnel vision. I'm not saying you can't be a master craftsperson, an artisan. You just need to get good at it. But I think in today's creative economy, to adapt and survive, you need to have more than one skill under your belt. I think that's happening organically with all of us anyway. We're sort of being forced to absorb more roles in what we do, right? Aren't we? But more importantly than that, than absorbing more crafts and being multi-skilled and multidisciplined, I think that philosophy should apply to your inspiration sources, where you get your inspiration from. Yes, you need to fill your reference library with relevant stuff. If you're a marketer, you know, find out good marketing executions, go to conferences. But beyond that, I think you need to have as many disparate inspiration sources as possible. Seek them out. Listen to music you don't normally listen to. Go to places you don't normally go. Read things you don't normally read. Go to a goth club, a dog show, Hillsong, whatever. Just look for this inspiration everywhere. Because it is everywhere. It all sounds a bit hard, that, doesn't it? Well, it's actually not, because inspiration is everywhere, every day. You just have to open your fucking eyes, for God's sake. It's all around us, especially in this place. Look at Mulga. Because the wonderful is around you every day. God, it's beautiful. Just take your face up from your fucking phones. Because it's all just us. We're creating all the stuff you see on the newsfeed. It's just us in a big circle jerk, you know, creating content for brands. Why do you want to look at that? Look at the world around you. Look at how people greet each other on the street. Look at how dogs greet each other on the street. People around you on the bus or the train. Don't stare, though. That's weird. Look at the bored baristas, the shy shopkeepers, the genius waitress, fortuitous shadows on the grounds, the pattern people's legs make when they walk to work in the rush hour commute. Look up. You're in the city. There's good shit up there. Look up. Look up. I mean it. Remember that? Take note of how you feel when you wake up in the morning. When you're in the bath or the shower, when you're on your period, or if you're just having a really good bloody day, you got some the night before. You know, I've learned how to spot people who got some the night before or that morning, because I looked up from my phone. I started looking at people when I walked through Hyde Park in the morning, and they all do this, men and women. They all do this. They all do that. It's really subtle. Look for it on the train. You'll see who got some. So it's about cultivating this behavior of being on all the time, recording all the time. Look at stuff. Look at this room. Look at the dirt on the floor, the plants, whatever. Just record it. There's something in there. Because there's a magic in finding inspiration in unexpected places. I bet you're expecting something more profound than that. I was building up to it, wasn't it? No, it's a piss patch. So this is an idea that I pitched in the States a few years ago. Almost got over the line, but it didn't, unsurprisingly. And I tried it again here in Australia. It's just that. It's a print campaign with a logo on it. What's the logo? Done. Fucking done. You can have that. Go on, try and get it over the line. Volkswagen did that, actually, recently. Volkswagen did a piss patch. So it's amazing how a logo can subvert the context of a picture, isn't it? Without anything else, just slapping a logo on it can completely change something. It's a porn company, Brazzers. Porn. Can immediately subvert an incredibly innocent picture. This is all over the internet. I don't do it because it will ruin your childhood. Anyway, I digress. So get into the habit of being on record all the time. Plug it in, Nicole. And you will be able to elevate the mundane to the amazing.
Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
I fucking love that! Everything about that! Everything! Compositing, the music, the direction, blah. Anyway, so that's just about something as mundane as your bed, your smelly, messy little bed. You could be on holiday in the Maldives for 2 weeks, have an amazing sleep under the stars and come home and fall into your bed. And so they've just, they've elevated the mundane to the amazing. The entire concept is based upon that. It doesn't have to be the entire concept, you can see things out of context for a quick visual spike, like this music video I was part of a few years ago. It's a period piece set in Victorian, your mate did that, John Owen, didn't he? And we just put cameras in it and basketballs with these sort of weird visual spikes in this Victorian period piece. And people got their knickers in a twist. Well, it's a video with a fucking wolfman in it, for God's sake. What are you worried about? Her makeup was inspired by Pris from Blade Runner and Amidala from Star Wars. There's cheerleaders in it. So, these can be quite small. And now we're starting to get under the coin, right? We're getting closer to the froth, the foam underneath. What is it? This is going to lead the way. I think the secret, the shortcut to good creative is subversion and or juxtaposition. Subversion, turning things on their head. Juxtaposition. This is going to lead the way. I think the secret, Can you do that again? That was amazing. Thanks for the subversion. Subversion and juxtaposition, turning things on their head. That's what my voice sounds like. It's a lot higher than I thought. Or juxtaposition, putting things that shouldn't be together, like Nicole and technology. I think this is literally the secret formula to good creative. Okay? These two things. Is this a video? Oh, it's a video. Plug it in. Shit. Sorry. Got to move on. Lost the show. That's the video clip by the Daniels, the directing duo, the Daniels, who did Turn Down for What? And Swiss Army Man. You should check them out. They've got great stuff. So, by having a broad gaze, right, by looking at as many things as possible and getting a wide range of inspiration, you'll get a wider spectrum of inspiration to draw upon, and then thus it will be easier for you to put these strange bedfellows together, to cut through. Think of it like synesthesia for your reference. Do we all know what synesthesia is? People whose senses are crossed, they smell colour and they see sound. That's actually a painting of a John Lennon song, Julia, by someone with synesthesia. That's how she sees songs as colours. Sounds like bollocks, really, doesn't it? But it works in the past. One of the greatest economic theories of our time, the economic model, was based upon the social behaviour of honeybees. This guy was laughed out of Harvard when he proposed it, but it's still in use today, this economic model. The CDC, Centre for Disease Control in America, looked to the world of PC gaming to help model strategies for how infectious diseases spread and how people flee areas based upon what happened in World of Warcraft. The corrupted blood incident, which was killing loads of players and they couldn't respawn. And in the game map, in the game world, people were fleeing away from this incident. And CDC successfully proposed this model based upon this behaviour. It's human behaviour. In the future, that's the past. What about the future? You'll get these strange bedfellows. And the beauty, actually, of juxtaposition, good juxtaposition, is you think, why would you put that together? But when you do, it's so obvious. So, cosmetics and genetics. In the future, you will have makeup tailored to your genome, obviously. Why wouldn't you? Get a swab, 30 minutes, get some makeup tailored to your specific genome. Hormones and banking. Biometric wearables are out there that you can wear now and that can monitor your endocrine state. What if banks could actually monitor that and advise accordingly? High cortisol, danger of impulse spending, cap your credit card. High dopamine, more likely to save, give you incentives to save. Or data and beauty, data visualization. There's an award every year, the Kantar Awards for the most beautiful data visualization. Check it out. Information becomes art. It's birdsong being turned into beautiful art. Could have plugged it in for that, but can't be fucked. Let's keep moving. So this is an interesting one. You need to plug this in. I hope you're not offended by rude, because this is really rude, all right? There's lots of rude words, sexually explicit hip-hop. It's not misogynist or misandrous. It's just really filthy. So if you're like, let me know, does anyone not want to see this? I'm here to inspire, not offend. Everyone cool? All right, okay. So this is a video which combines carnivorous plants and sexually explicit hip-hop lyrics. How many times have you seen the same old video, booty and blah, blah, chicks in bikinis? But no, these guys did it differently. Biology and entomology for this splendid cut-through video that just went bonkers last year. The thing is, I've blown the video actually. That's the back end of the video. The whole video is a man talking about she wants my dick in her mouth all day, and it's the flies talking, and then the fucking Venus flytraps come in, and it's brilliant. The whole video is subversion. Run the jewels, love again. Check it out. And so that's an interesting mashup for a music video. But this is the ultimate mashup actually of 120 global artists done by my good friends at Heckler in Sydney for marriage equality. Love is love. Last year actually, they just did this animation, gave each artist a frame to design, and this is what they came up with, a little social campaign. Oh fuck, sorry, plug it in. Just loops. I think Olga might have even been in that. And then they auctioned off each of the artworks to raise money. Really simple and clever. So as for me, What was that slide? Oh yeah, I'm a huge sci-fi and science and gamer nerd. This is an artwork by Angus Kingsmill, the founder of Mambo. His new clothing label called Radio Velvet. It's by an artist called Ionesca. I can't remember. Radio Velvet, Angus Kingsmill. Sorry, okay, so my previous job at Lifestyle, I used to love mashing up my bizarre science fiction references with the job I had at Lifestyle, the team I ran. Couldn't be two more disparate things. Lifestyle, very grounded brand, home decoration and architecture and food, with my weird little horror sci-fi references. This is something that we did Lifestyle to promote Embarrassing Bodies Down Under. You can't show any of the show, it's so rude. Don't ever Google embarrassing bodies. Don't do it. Full of warty cocks and etc. So we personified the groups of illnesses into these characters, made a huge transmedia campaign out of it. And thank you, Nicole, for that. Can you plug it in again, actually? Plug it in. Next month's theme is chaos. Everyone. So this is a promo we did for Embarrassing Bodies Down Under with the my cohort at the time, Karen Goldhawk, marketing. There, check it out. It's fun.
Whoa, how could you call me off? I'm feeling so. I wanted more. I was sure I was going on you, but you're out of here, and now I fear I'll be left in tears on the floor. Such a shame, oh, I'm such a shame on you. Never leave me, don't leave me, never leave me.
Dump the Lump. The brand new series, Embarrassing Bodies Down Under, starts Tuesday, October 29th.
Are you done yet? Next.
Only on You.
So yeah, we had a suite of different taglines for the creatures: dump the lump, drop the mop, lose the ooze, etc. Directed by one of my team, Emma Guiney. I wrote the song and the lyrics, and we, Groove Quantize, a composing agency I work with, got a Tongan choir in to sing the song. So it was a wonderful collaboration, big transmedia campaign. Went great guns, biggest launch ever on the channel for that show. And other bizarre things I used to love doing was mashing up, for instance, the Dark Knight Joker theme with the 1979 staccato edit trailer for Alien for a MasterChef promo. But the one I prefer to show today is in the 1980s, the Steven Spielberg films I love, like Raiders of the Lost Ark and Poltergeist, and they always had a melting face in them, man. Melting faces everywhere in the 80s. So jumping off that idea, decided to do that for Hell's Kitchen. Not show Gordon Ramsay, but just do this instead.
Begin the brand new season, Hell's Kitchen USA. Saturday 8:30, only on Lifestyle.
It's all a bit dark, isn't it, on Lifestyle? But that, we're nothing really else looked like that on Fox when we were doing this stuff, particularly on a lifestyle brand. For God's sake, this was cutting through inordinately and part of a larger strategy to give Lifestyle, which previous to myself and my mentor Jens Hertzen, the CD at the time that I was under, that I then took over, and Karen Goldhawk was part of this as well. Nicole Sheffield, who's now at News. To give Lifestyle a personality and a sense of humour and a sense of cut-through, because it was seen as quite staid. So, God bless him for going with my strange reference. Is that we've got two artists to create that. One to create the lifelike food, one to create the logo in the hot plate that would conduct the heat. Cost a couple of grand. It's easy. Floating spaceships from 2001 inspired this idea. Don't need to hear the music, but plug it in though, because there's something after it. Sorry. 2001 nerd. So I just all this movement of this house that would build around the host of Grand Designs Australia. To build this house, this is sort of done some in camera. These are real bricks floating. Whole house builds around him in this Matrix-esque space. I love magnetic ferrofluids. Liquid that conducts magnetism. I love that shit. It's very pretty. Someone should properly use this in a logo design, actually. It looks amazing. It's loosely based upon this logo resolved for the new lifestyle rebrand, the geometric kind of behaviour of it. So, like I said, I was very fortunate to work with a bunch of execs and peers and colleagues who, believed in the bizarre reference that I would bring to the table and cultivate like a unique look and sound for lifestyle. That hadn't been done on a lifestyle brand before. And also my team who ran with the freedom that I gave them. They were brilliant. So speaking of awesome collaborations, this is my 60-second side hustle. I am currently doing a science fiction short at the moment, branching narrative based upon the descent into Jupiter through the clouds into the core. If any designers are willing to work on this project with me, I've already got some. We're going into production next month. You get to work with some amazing people. Come and hit me up afterwards if you want something cool for your reel. And it's also part of an interconnected series of novels, games, and films. Anyway, moving on. So cutting through the clutter, all right? Remember, subversion and juxtaposition. And it doesn't have to be something big. You can just swap a couple of words around. Impossible is nothing, the brilliant Adidas campaign based upon the Muhammad Ali diatribe. Nothing is impossible is a wonderful little sentiment, isn't it? But you swap it and it becomes a powerful statement. I believe Muhammad Ali said, if I can remember it, which is pertinent for today, impossible is for small men who are content to live within the confines of their reality. Impossible is potential. Impossible is a dare. I love that. It's a simple flipping of words and suddenly you get that amazing impact. One of my favourite subversive ads of the last few years is this, done in Australia for Optus.
Optus approached me and asked me to do an advert telling Australia that they're getting Netflix. I said I'd need like a shed load of cash, like seriously mental money. They went, okay. I said, I don't want to put any effort into it. I want to do it sitting down. They went, okay, can you at least, big up the product a bit? I went, not really. No. I don't know about it. I've never heard of Optus. They said, we're not happy with this as an advert. I went, it's too late. You've paid me, I've spent it. Use this if you want. They use it. They use it.
So good. Australia's quite conservative, I find, as a creative. I can't believe I got over the line. We're going to do an ad. Doesn't talk about the product. It disses the client. It says we're spineless. But yeah, and it got across the line. I love that. Okay, I'll plug it in. Thank you. This is something that's hot off the press that I finished the other day. The wonderful folk at TVNZ Black Sand for the Commonwealth Games over there. So I've been talking a lot about subverting ideas. This is a subversion of a technique, of an editing technique. So this is all about tension and the build-up. They had this storyboarded. But halfway through I just said, do you know what we need to do here is we need to do incomplete actions. We need to not finish to set up the tension. And they said, quite rightly, they said, so you want to cut when you're not supposed to cut. I went, yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. I think it kind of works. Done with my old mentor Jens Hertzum, the wonderful Jens Hertzum and the great team of Black Sand. So it's all about grabbing attention. And I've got a theory about this, all right? Go with me on this, all right? So we as humans have evolved to see movement. Since we were little animals scurrying around the bush, we've evolved to see movement. Something moves, you instantly see it. Even if it's in a complex scene like a forest. You can tune out all of that, and the minute something moves in that, you'll see it, right? I mean, how many times have you been outside or in your garden or whatever and you've seen a gecko runs? Your eyes just go to it. We've evolved to see that. Even if the scene is moving, it's windy in the forest, let's say, you're still going to see it. Your mind will tune out. that white noise, and if something moves contrary to that movement, like a bird or a drop bear, I was really hoping some of you would jump. I'm just my pathetic little, it didn't work, did it? So deep down in our brain, in the reptilian brain, the first brain to form, we have evolved to see difference, other. We're trained to spot difference, all right? We're drawn to it, literally, drawn to it, okay? It's in our deep in our brain. And so with the mammalian brain and the neocortex, the human brain, the emotions and rational center, that response is likely to be emotional, right? An emotional response to a subversion from the norm. So, whether that response is fearful or fascinated, it's born of an inbuilt curiosity that's evolved in our brain from millions of years ago. It's in our code. So in conclusion, every single human is drawn to things that are curious. Every single one of us. A deviation from the norm. We can't help it. We can't help it. They bite their heads off in a minute. It's brilliant. No, they don't. So the more of these things you put into your creative, all right? Cross-pollination. Disparate inspiration sources. I can't fucking stress that enough. And subversion. Juxtaposition. Both of those become easier if you do the top two, the bottom two. The bigger the attraction will be in your creative for others. I guarantee it. So does that sound a bit hard? Does it? A bit risky? Yeah, it does. But that is the secret. What lies in the quantum foam? It's all about risk. All right? If you're not feeling like this at some point or all the way through the creative process, hang on, plug it in. Russians. You're not doing it right, okay? Marketers. Any marketers in this room? Your job is to make sure the message is received effectively by people, okay? You're meant to reduce fear. You're not meant to eliminate it. Fear is an integral part of the creative process. Don't eliminate fear because you'll create something beige and vanilla. So, the curious can't help but push the button. We see the button, we go, we want to push it. You have to push it. Permit me this little rant, okay? Why would you willingly put yourself in the pack to deliver your message? Why would you position yourself like in the thronging mass of people saying the same thing and going, excuse me, I've got something to say as well, hello? Why would you do that? I'm not saying create something so avant-garde, only a Polish philosophy student from the 1800s is going to pick up what you're putting down. But I am saying just take a little step to the right or the left and then deliver your message.
New Weetabix chocolate spoon size. Fuel for fun.
That's how we promote Weetabix in the UK. I don't know whether you've noticed, but a lot of the creative I've shown today hasn't had a great deal of exposition in it or product description. Has it? It's just made you feel something, right? And look, you don't have to do an entirely creative, huge concept, spend loads of money on it. It can be, your subversion or your juxtaposition could just be with the font. That was Gemma O'Brien for Creative Mornings a few years ago, wasn't it? Or it could just be with the kerning in the font. The D's being a nomad. It's leaving. I love it. But despite that, which I love, it just looks a bit different, doesn't it? So that's what the truly curious do. They take risks. They can't help but push the button. That's what curious is. It's pushing it. It's pushing that button. Are you going to push it today? Are you? You going to push it?
Finger is on the button. My finger is on the button.
Push the button.
Fuck, give him another round of applause. That was amazing. So amazing. All right, so we've got time for a little bit of Q&A. Hopefully you guys have some questions. And also, I have sexy stream time socks for the first 3 people that ask a question to Glenn. So who would like some sexy Streamtime socks? Yes. And then Glenn, you just have to repeat the question.
Sure.
Let me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my journey was, I started in dispatch. She asked me how I started out. Sorry, I completely forgot. I told you I was distracted. I started out in the dispatch in a TV company as a runner, a dispatch, working in the mail room, boxing up tapes for record labels, actually, Beggars Banquet and The Prodigy and all that. And that's sort of how I started, really. And then I wheedled my way into TV and VT op, and then I live studio, cameras, auto cue, design. I just schlepped around the TV industry, simultaneously getting signed to a record label and doing a bit of talent scouting on the side. My best mate signed Morchiba at the time, which is quite lucky. I remember hearing their demo and going, yeah, they're all right. You should probably sign them. And that's how I got to know them. So simultaneously I was in TV and working my way up, but also then putting out Breakbeat. I was signed to a Breakbeat label in London and the birth of Breakbeat, and that's how I got in with the Chems and etc. etc. So it's quite fortuitous, but it was moving to London really that did it. And then I got bored of telly and tried to leave, and then moved to Australia and realised it was kind of the only thing I could do. And then kind of got into production and script writing and promo producing. It's kind of chaotic with me, really. So it's all about putting yourself out there. I mean, I wrote those breakbeat songs in my bedroom and gave them to my mate, and he was playing them in his office at China Records, and the godfather of UK breakbeat, Rennie Pilgrim, heard it and then said, who's that? And the rest is history. Does that answer your question? Okay, good. Hello? That's the one, isn't it? That's it's pitching up. I'm not particularly good at it. I mean, I think in terms of trying to convince... Nice one. In trying to convince brands to go with your vision, the key is preparation. Don't be too weird. Don't be weird. Be professional. Coming from me. Look, I think... How did I get some of the crazy ideas over the line? Do you know what it is? I think if you're a creative and you've got a crazy idea, you need to get a cohort on your side. And my cohort was the head of marketing, and she spoke their language, and she got me and I got her, and she was creative, and we were like this little duo who would always go in. I'd go in with the wild idea and she would provide the grounding, I think. So if you're not capable of doing that or not very good at it, and I'm actually not, I just get carried away with the idea, as probably some of us do as well. It's good to have, have a rock next to your chaos, I think. Does that answer your question? Good. Phew. Anyone else? Anyone else? Oh, go. Exactly the same. No, right wanker. No, do you know what? And this. Okay, sorry. What was I like as a child? Exactly the same. No, I wasn't. I was. And this is going to sound like a really wanky thing to say. I was really shy. I was really super shy and nerdy, and I was really spotty. And I was just. When I was younger, I was quite outgoing, and then I got really spotty and teenager and really shy. I didn't have many friends. I was part of the chess club, played D&D. I didn't have a girlfriend. And I just thought, this is fucking bollocks. Okay, well, I was in a small town, and I moved to London. I had 200 quid to my name, and I moved to London with my nerdy girlfriend at the time, who was moving there with her brother. I said, fuck it, I'm coming. I was supposed to go to university, and I didn't. I just went, no, I'm going to go to London. Fuck this shit. And I had 2 weeks of money. I had enough money for 2 weeks, and it ran out. I couldn't get a job. I went all around. I tried to get a job in the theatre in London, and on the very last day, her brother got me a job in the West End Theatre in London and allowed me to stay in London. I was packing my bag to go back home to my tiny town, and that was it. That was my break. Just throwing it up in the air and taking a risk. See, I did what I did there. It was amazing. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Hello? I get drunk. I know it sounds really flippant and unprofessional, but yeah, I do get creative blocks. Everyone does. It's completely normal. I get drunk. I think 2.5 drinks is prime writing sozzledness. That said, good Lord, this presentation just wasn't coming. I thought, curiosity, this is easy. I can do this. And I was like, fuck, the creative's not good. It's boring. And I went to Primal Scream on Tuesday and got home at 1 o'clock in the morning, pissed. And that's when I did the bulk of work on this presentation. And it all came together then. I'm not saying get really drunk all the time. I am saying that. But it helps. It helps. But there's probably another way to do it. Going for a walk as well, walking. Get up and go for a walk.
To the pub?
No. No, actually going for a walk, but it's always, you know, you have these brilliant thoughts when your feet are pounding, you know? Like, that always helps as well. So there you go. Brilliant. Anyone else? Hello? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really did. When I got to Sydney, I've never been. Similarly did it with London. I was bored in London. You know, I'd been in there for 11 years and back and forth to Berlin and San Fran, and I was just like, there's more to life in London. I've got to get the fuck out of here. The weather's doing my head in. So I was on my way to California, and I thought I'd go to Sydney first because the visa was relatively easy at the time. But I knew no one in Sydney. All I knew was one person I'd met on Friends Reunited. Remember that site? Who's old enough to remember Friends Reunited? I hadn't seen him in 20 years, and he was the only person I knew. And I turned up to Sydney, sold all my shit in London, left all my friends, turned up here with $700 to my name. No job, no contacts. I've never been more lonely and more broke in my life. Like, I couldn't even get $20 out of the ATM. I was practically begging. You know, I couldn't even afford a fucking Kit Kat. Like, it was really bad. And I wanted to leave TV, and I was a courier, van driver, moved furniture, worked in a bar. I was so miserable and so lonely. And I was really close to sleeping under a bridge. I slept in a mate's dog basket. There's nowhere else to sleep. And I got fucking impetigo on my face, this horrible bacterial infection. I was skinny. It was really hard. And I remember I thought, I can't go back. I'm going to go back with no money. I'd rather be broke on the beach than broke in London. So yeah, that was a real low point. How did I get myself out of it? It's connections. It's the people you meet. I got employed because of, let me get this right, it was a Australian man that I'd made friends with in London who was trying to shag a woman that I used to work with, and to make himself look good to her, he put a word in for me here in Australia to this guy who happened to be a wonderful, giving Christian. And he waited 4 months for me to get in touch with him finally, because I didn't want to do TV. And I finally went and said, I think someone spoke to you about me. And he's like, there you are, Glenn, there you are. You know, I've been waiting for you. And the only reason I got that job was because someone had died actually in a motorcycle. It's really dark. Someone died in a motorcycle accident, and they were short an editor, and I was the only one that could operate the suites. So through this bizarre confluence of serendipity and tragedy, that's how I got my break. It's luck. You have to make your own luck. Like, you kind of have to meet people and do well and charm and be nice to people, and hopefully it will come back. You done? Yeah, we good? Thanks. Thank you.
Guys, give Glenn another round of applause. Thank you.